Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Hunter x Hunter 2011 episode 132 review. Now, of course, that link is going to be in the description box down below on Crunchyroll.com. Very simple, very easy stuff. So, that being said, this episode, very simple. Basically, it's Meruem, and he's roaming about trying to find what he's missing when it comes to his memories. What is like the key main thing, which of course is Komugi, and how he has yet to beat Komugi in a match with Gungi. And we basically find out that he already knows that Poof and Yuppie have been keeping something from him. B, that his power has spiked beyond expectations, which I'll get to because that was some disgusting ass shit right there. I was like, whoa. Like, yo, Meruem. That's crazy. C, that right now Meruem, Poof, and Yuppie are now engaging in some kind of contest, and the contest was instigated by Poof as a means of buying more time so he could try and find Komugi. And that's pretty much it. If anything else I remember, I'll talk about it in the video. So that being said, first of all, animation, on point. When it came to Meruem's power-up, and when the aura was just everywhere in the palace area and outside, and the fact that you had a few scenes here and there pertaining to the end result of the Gon and Pito fight. Not even a fight, it's more like a one-sided massacre. But we see just Pito's body, like corpse, headless, just on the ground. And the surrounding area, like a nuke went off. Like it was an airburst from a meteorite, just fucking leveled. And then you had the end of Meruem, which was fantastic. Whoa! When this dude went in, and this giant flash of light radiated the palace area and beyond. And the fact that it was insane. Like he pulled a Kuma. Like he pulled the Bartholomew. Like this dude like warped and just poked Knuckle in the neck. And Knuckle was like straight gone, out. Night night. And then we have I'll give him credit for trying to say something, but Meruem couldn't really do anything either. And by the time like this, poke or back of the head, he was out too. Just night night. And then he warps back to the location where he was. That's insane. Meruem's power far exceeds that of when he first went against Minato. That to me, I think, is clearly obvious. It is extremely obvious. This dude's disgusting power-wise right now. So that's animation. When it comes to those scenes, pretty damn good, and overall, it was fairly well done. When it comes to the pacing, they did spend a lot of time on those who are not knocked out in the palace area, meaning Palm and Ikarugo, mainly Palm, because Palm is actually carrying Komugi on her back. Well, she was, and then right now they put Komugi in Bizef's room in the underground area. So the thing here is that that's where they're hiding right now. Because if they try and run off in the distance, they may in fact be like caught by Meruem's end. Because they don't know the extent of his end. It's huge, huge, massive radius. But the thing here is that if they're 2 kilometers underground, odds are that via his end, he won't find Komugi, Palm, and Ikarugo. So, I mean, he can still, like, walk through the fucking gate and shit. But he has to, come to that decision first. So, if he does not come to that decision to where he can go underground and look for them underground, then they'll be fine for a period of time. So, unless there's another escape route, because as far as we know, there's only a one-way ticket when you go down the elevator into that area. However, there could be another way. There could be another escape route. Again, we don't know. We'll see how it works out. And Wilfin is still there too. So how that plays out, again, we'll see. So pacing, they did spend a lot of time on those two because they're, again, the only guys that are still conscious amongst the main party in the palace area. We do get to see a little bit of Killua and Gon from Palm's perspective, and then there was a lot more time spent on the interaction between Meruem, Poof, and Yuppie, and how Yuppie right now is at the West Palace area waiting for Neferpitou, believing that she's going to come back, when in fact she's not, because she's dead. And we have Poof, who is spreading his scales across the crowd because that's part of this whole challenge thing. So that's mainly it when it comes to those two things. And when it comes to story progression, we have Meruem. He's starting to slowly remember a few things about about Pito, and about, like a few more things here and there. But he still isn't, fully there yet. And the main thing here, of course, is going to be Komugi. So when we have Poof mention this competition, this contest, the word itself triggers pain because he's starting to remember some things, not through images alone, but also now through words. So now we have Poof and we have Yuppie. They are very careful of their words. And we actually find out that those two are actually in agreement when it comes to not telling Meruem about Komugi, because they fear what will happen when it comes to their interaction, Komugi and Meruem. So, also very surprising, because Poof, who's normally been the one to manipulate, if you would, the devil, just in the shadows, controlling others to do his bidding, we have all of a sudden, we find out that these two are on the same page, him and Yuppie. And now, the purpose here, now their goal is to buy time so they can find Komugi. And they think that she's a ways away, or they're trying to sway Neferpitou if she comes back, which of course she won't. So, that being said, overall, the thing here is this. This episode, again, very simple, very straightforward. Those are the basics. The basics mainly give it a rating of a good. But I do love Meruem when it comes to him being very reasonable. And that is something that I think is very important in the episode. Where you have Meruem, he understands full well that the intentions of his royal guard are to benefit him. Their loyalty supersedes their guilt. If not, he would have killed him right then and there. So that's number one. The fact that he's becoming a lot more reasonable when it pertains to his royal guard and what he expects of them. Very different than when he was the first time. Like when he was first born, and when he was doing shit, he would smack around the royal guard all the damn time. All the time. So that's number one. You can see that he's slowly changed. And the fact that he's actually accepting this contest in the first place proves that he's actually becoming more humble towards his royal guard, despite the fact that he said that, I would have killed you, but your loyalty supersedes your own guilt. And the fact that he's still very perceptive. Like the entire time, Togashi made it seem as if Meruem didn't realize what Poof was doing, or he was unaware of Poof's change in his emotions. But Meruem was fully aware. He just now mentioned it. So, again, the fact that these two have given a lot of their body to Meruem to save him, and the fact that it was already stated that there was a connection between these three, that is still in full effect. Just not mentioned because the king chose not to mention it. And then we have Poof for the first time. Because, again, this dude's been running around trying to be the manipulator, performing his quote-unquote magic. It's a magic! Just doing this magic bullshit. And it's been working so far. But when the king gives him an ultimatum, so you win, I'll grant you a wish, and you can keep your secret. However, if I win, you tell me everything. You tell me everything. The thing here is that when his clones return to him, you can see serious eyes, completely serious, a man on a mission. And then you have Meruem, he's actually laughing because he sees how serious this is to Poof. So it's very fascinating when it comes to the character interaction between these three guys. And you never really expected that, in the sense that when it comes to the character interaction of Poof, of Yuppie, of Meruem, it's actually deeper than that of Neferpitu. Even though she was dutied with the task of saving Komugi, the bond between these three is a lot deeper. And it's to the point where his evil, malicious, magical ways, Poof, have subsided. And now he's just on a mission. He's a Terminator. He's ready to go. He's ready to kill this bitch for the sake of the king. So, the thing here, and here's the thing that I want to point out too. Poof wants to kill Komugi, but there's no guarantee that the king will remember after she's dead. For example, Poof kills Komugi, the king sees the body, the king remembers Komugi and everything. And remember how Poof initially feared that if the king did not overcome her and she were to die, then in his mind, Meruem's mind, Komugi would be someone who he has never overcome, therefore preventing him from achieving true greatness. So the same thing can still happen. Poof's initial fears when it pertains to the king and Komugi can still come to pass, even if Komugi is slaughtered away from the king. Because if the king sees the body, or if he remembers her on a whim, or if someone mentions her name by accident, he remembers Komugi, and then he remembers the whole Gungi and how he always lost the match, and she's now dead. She is forever idolized in his mind as this insurmountable wall. And the king can't have this wall in his mind because it prevents him from being truly godlike. So, again, there are still fears here that Poof should keep in mind, but he's forgotten them. Because right now, he's so worked up that he's forgotten about these simple things. So, we'll see how this pans out, but it's still intriguing nonetheless. So, that being said, we know that Killer was on his way back with Gon, and Gon's hair is longer. We don't see his face, but Gon is clearly out. He's clearly out. And what happens now, we are not too sure. Killer was taking his time. He's walking. He just like a simple strut. He's not going Godspeed, straight form. Like, no. He's just simply walking. So he won't be back there in the, palace area for a while. That's very obvious. And when it comes to the situation right now, all we have to rely on, since Knuckle and Meruem are out, all we have to rely on at this point in time is Palm and Icargo. Now, maybe Moro will come back later on. I highly doubt it. Maybe Nova will come in there and save their asses. Again, highly doubt it. Because Nova, I think, did put a portal where the entrance of the entrance of the tunnel where Bezuf's location is, like where Bezuf's housing area is underground, he did put a tunnel or a portal near there, I believe so, like a door. So he may come and save them as well, which would completely nullify the entire thing. But again, we'll see how it goes. So I'm done. Overall, it was a good episode. It does give you great insight into their relationship, the king, the guards, mainly Poof and mainly Yuppie, and how the king himself is just fantastic. Like right now, he's so powered up. Like he's phenomenal. Again, his aura was everywhere. And when Knuckle felt that shit, it was immediate bail mode. You need an entire army to take him out. And the fact that you had Meruem, actually walking slower than Knuckle because Meruem, his purpose of doing this was for revenge, for Peggy. And you had Knuckle, this was a mission, a duty. So you have two different conflicting purposes when it came to the reason as to why they started this in the first place. And yet, this doesn't have time to build because in comes the king, flash of light, zip, zip, over. So, again, very intriguing, very fascinating, and that may cause conflict later on. So, for example, if Knuckle and Meruem wake up and the king's not there, we may see these two conflict because Meruem may want to stay and kill the king while Knuckle wants to bail and inform the Hunter Association. But that's it, I'm done. Overall, the overall rating is going to be a great, good plus, and I will see you guys later. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace, have a nice day.